Hello, good evening, and welcome back to One Life Left, a radio show about video games. I'm Steve Curran.
I am Simon Byron.
And I'm Anne Scantlebury.
We're back.
It's been a while, isn't it? Hello, it's nice to see you.
I've missed you.
What have you been doing?
So much. We did 4 shows from GDC. Saw you then.
Yep, saw you there.
That was good.
Yeah, it went okay, didn't it? I think I listened to a few back and they were acceptable.
It's a nice diversion from the main track of One Life Left, isn't it? It's like we go off and do a spin-off show for a little while, but now we're back to continue all the cliffhangers we left before.
In front of bewildered conference attendees. Did we get any feedback?
I saw someone was listening to it the other day on Twitter.
Right.
Said listening to One Life Left. Didn't say good or bad. Just said they are listening. Okay. But I take that as a victory.
Do you? I think that's often worse. They go out their way to tell you they're doing something and then don't.
And then they don't tell you that it was any good afterwards.
Yeah, no, I was listening to the show the other day. Gotta go now.
It's all about the punctuation, isn't it? If it's like I was listening to the show the other day, exclamation mark, that's all right. Yeah. If it's I was listening to the show the other day, ellipsis. Yeah. If it's I was listening to the show the other day, full stop, frowny face.
Exactly. Leave Twitter. How are you, Anne?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Great.
We missed you in America.
Yeah, missed being in America. But don't worry, we've got lots of other adventures coming up this year.
Yes, we do.
Don't we? And
sad face.
Also, I've been playing loads of video games.
Great. Welcome back.
Because we are a video game radio show, so I mean, maybe we'll have something to talk about today. You'd think so after about
Fingers
4 weeks
crossed. Exactly. Yeah. It's not just us in the studio, though, of course. This time...
It's quite a special guest, isn't it?
Very special guest. We've not done this before, have we?
We haven't had this sort of... Basically, we've got a guest so special we can't tell you their name.
We don't know what they look like. They are behind some sort of...
Do you remember when we had those puppets on the radio? And we realised shortly after bringing them on that puppets on the radio, you know, they're wonderful, wonderful people, but you miss an important part of that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hopefully this will go better.
It's just a pixelated face in the corner of the room.
It's one of our favourite new features.
Favourite correspondent.
It's Gameunder. Hello.
Ironic that you're talking about puppets, really, because that's what the games press are, aren't they? And I'm here to cut some strings.
Right.
Do you consider us part of the games press?
I mean, you're kind of, you know, you're enabling me to spread my message, but ultimately, you know, you're going to go the same way as everyone else.
Okay. Well, maybe not today, though.
Welcome to the show, then. It's nice to have you on. We're going to be chatting about about ethics in video game journalism, all that sort of thing, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
But before we get on to that, let's start the show as we always do, and that is with Anne's news.
Video game news with Anne Scantlebury.
It's 7:04 on Monday the 30th of March. I'm Anne Scantlebury and this is the news. A group of head teachers has threatened parents with a bit more than detention if they let their children play 18-rated games. The Nantwich Education Partnership recently sent a letter to parents saying, if your child is allowed to have inappropriate access to any game or associated product that is designated 18+, we are advised to contact the police and the Children's Social Care as this is deemed neglectful. The partnership is a group of 14 primary and 2 secondary schools in Cheshire.
Good stuff, right?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But this is specifically games then? Did they not mention movies or...?
They specifically said games.
Interesting. I wonder why that is.
Well, I think it's specifically a problem in games, isn't it? We've talked before about how parents don't seem to understand ratings. Also, there's an awful lot of peer pressure at schools, kids playing Call of Duty and then complaining to the parents if they're not allowed to play Call of Duty and stuff. But that stuff is made for adults. And we need people to take it more seriously. And, it must be kind of scary as a parent to hear this news, and probably you may disregard it, but hopefully this sort of thing will all add to a weight on the rating system and make people generally take them more seriously.
Yeah, I agree. Although it's interesting that it's an age rating that it's enforceable at the point of sale. It's not enforceable elsewhere, isn't it? So you're going to be grassed up to the police for presumably something else, I guess.
Is that different to other age rating systems?
No. It's only that you can't sell them to
right.
anybody who's under that age. I believe.
Well, I think that it seems more likely that it'll go through so it'll be more of a social services thing.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Which, and you're letting your child play that, and so it's neglect. So you're being negligent of what you are allowing them to be in contact with.
I'm not.
You are.
I think it's good. Anything that reinforces that. I'm astonished by the number of particularly sort of old school friends that I meet who are completely outside the games industry. Just view video games as they were when they were kids. When they were computer games, actually they weren't video games.
It seems weird because there's so many good games that kids can play that are appropriate and acceptable for them to play. So don't give them all of that really tough stuff. For
example, yesterday I was playing Mario Kart with my son.
Oh yeah.
So you think your son is legally old enough to drive?
Yeah, he came very close to legally hearing some new words yesterday, I'll tell you that.
Spotify has launched its first console app, but if you're not a PS3 or PS4 owner, you're going to have to get your music streaming services elsewhere because this deal has got exclusive stamped all over it. Sony explained that Spotify will replace its own streaming service, Music Unlimited, saying that this partnership will be the foundation of our music strategy going forward. Of course, fans of Taylor Swift won't care about this news after all, after she took her music off the service. Looks like Swifto is an Xbox One fan.
She's signed up for Jay-Z's new music streaming service, hasn't she? Yeah, it's £20 a month though.
Whoa!
Yeah.
She can afford £20 a month, can't she?
She can, so she's she's fine. Music Unlimited has gone away then.
That's a shame.
Were you a subscriber to Music Unlimited?
Once. Really? I paid £10 for a year.
And did you get unlimited music?
I got access to all the music that they had that they could get, that was on their books. This seems like a good thing. It only went live today, so I mean, you could phrase that as breaking news, I guess. And I'm looking forward to trying it. Although I do, people have been playing. I've been reading people tweeting about what they've been listening to while they've been playing Bloodborne, etc. The idea is that you can build a playlist or just choose what music to listen in the games that support it, which I think is
right.
Most
so
of,
there
if
are
not all of them.
There are hooks into the game systems. This is where it differs from other ways you could listen to Spotify on your TV, of which there are already.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that I could just listen to Muse in GTA 5.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I like the idea of, particularly with something like GTA 5, the fact that the music is part of the game itself. So I've never listened to music whilst playing video games, is what I'm saying.
Right, okay.
But I do listen to Spotify, so...
I do find it annoying when I'm playing games on my phone and I'm listening to music, and some games will allow the music to play under, and some games just...
no consistency,
just cut it off. There's no consistency. Although I guess if they've spent a lot of money and a lot of time and effort making a lovely soundtrack, they kind of want you to listen to that, don't they?
Yeah.
Google is throwing down in the live streaming arena by announcing YouTube Live at E3. That's according to Daily Dot. Apparently there's a team of 50 engineers working on it, with gaming and esports a driving force. This all comes after Google was reportedly declined a $1 billion buyout of Twitch last year. Google is basically the kid who, if you don't invite them to your party, will have a bigger and better party next door.
Don't understand. What is this? They've already got live streaming on YouTube. So what is different here?
Yeah.
It's going to be more
of it.
Well, isn't with YouTube? With YouTube live streaming, don't you have to have a live account? No, I don't know.
I've no idea. I just know there's live streaming there already.
Of course you do.
I assume this is...
Of course you do, Steve.
Of course I do. What? Have you been looking at my Periscope?
Exactly.
You're all meerkatting with me.
Something along those lines.
I think that there was something to do with you have to have a special account to do live streaming through YouTube at the minute. Because I'm sure that I remember when we were trying to set up something...
That was a while ago,
We had
wasn't
trouble,
it? When we got the live streaming bug.
Won't it be that they're going to integrate, they're going to offer tools that will enable you to stream your game as you're playing it?
Yeah,
Right.
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, but you have to be at E3 for this to happen.
Apparently, yeah.
Right. That's a bit of a handicap for us.
Exactly, for 3 days only.
Are we going out to E3? Are we going to go and cover it? Is E3 even a thing these days?
Oh, it's definitely happening.
Well, yeah. But, I mean,
well, I don't know. YouTube seem to think that it's a thing.
right, okay.
I don't expect to be there
Right, okay.
unless things change. I don't know. Who knows? And what are you guys going?
Are we going to do some breaking news over there? What news have we got to...
Stream it live.
Elite Dangerous has just awarded the first player to reach triple elite status £10,000. The Race to Elite competition was announced back in December with £1,000 for the players who reached endgame status in each of the disciplines, combat, trading and exploration, with the big prize going for the triple whammy. Winner, Commander 1%, clocked 1,029 hours since December, meaning he has technically just earned £9.71 an hour, which is over £3 above the minimum wage.
Good for him. A triple elite status.
Yep.
Does that not devalue just elite status?
Yeah.
Well, if you get all three, you've got to be rewarded for getting all three.
What
don't
are
you?
the
Got to
three
be.
things? They're
So it was combat, trading and
looks,
exploration.
exploration.
Sports. Politics. I'll tell you who doesn't travel like an elite player.
Oh,
Good
Simon.
segue,
Where's
Simon.
David Braben? David Braben.
This is a bit of industry gossip.
It is. I sat behind him on the plane on the way back from Italy. I did, yeah.
What did you see?
Got an interesting taste in movies.
Really?
I don't know, actually. But let's say yes.
Were you directly behind him or
No,
like diagonally?
Diagonally. So
That's the best to
Well,
spy on
the
someone.
best sort of behind, isn't it? Yeah, so I couldn't sort of keep doing that on the back of his seat, which is what I would. I did that to his marketing manager instead, who was sat to. But he chose the middle seat in a row of three.
Well, keep your friends close.
Oh, I guess so.
But
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So well, that's good news. So you didn't see what movies he was watching?
No,
Didn't
I saw
see
what class
any-
he was travelling in. That was
Right,
economy.
okay.
So, you know.
Did he have any special dietary requirements?
Oh, no, he didn't, no. But
What drinks did he drink?
That's a good question.
He had a few, actually.
Did he?
But again, probably. I didn't really see. It was the flight back, so I was a little
I mean,
bit
they were complimentary, so you might as well.
Tell you what, though, he does look good in the morning.
Does he?
Yeah. So, you know, if you were to meet him one night in Cambridge, where he's out and about.
Did you touch him? Because you could have done.
I could have done, you're right. I could have taken some of his hair, couldn't I, and cloned it. And then, I don't know, given that to Ian Bell, maybe. Could have done.
Simon, are you looking to become the games industry's 3am girl?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's an issue.
Should do that, shouldn't we? Well done to this
Yeah,
guy.
congratulations,
Well
man.
done, £9 an hour. It's all right, not to be sniffed at.
Yeah, well,
and-
he also said that he does have a job, but it's casual work,
Okay.
and he told them that he would be off for about 3 months. So he did do it in the allocated time, and yeah, I just think, you know, if he has earned more per hour than he would have done otherwise.
What would he? Once you've got to elite, once you've got triple elite,
yeah.
what do you do next? Is there a?
Quit.
That's what I worry about this. They're going to have to devalue elite still further.
another
aren't
one,
they?
won't they?
Elita. I don't know. One more, Anne?
One more. And finally, Surgeon Simulator is being taken to the next level. Developer Grendel Games has revealed images of a Wii U peripheral it's releasing that can help train surgeons in keyhole surgery. The device is made up of 2 Wii remotes, 2 nunchucks, a stand and a screen, and has been developed to work with their adventure puzzle game Underground. The game replicates movements used when operating on a patient. The device is priced at €250. One Life Left has ordered one and will be setting up surgery as of next month.
Is that last bit true?
Is it? It could be, Simon.
I don't want anybody coming near me that's been training on that, surely.
Well, you know, you can't always train on humans, so sometimes you need a bit of outside help. You know, just something where it's a bit low risk.
Right.
I mean, presumably they don't start training on humans, right?
Well, they go immediately from the Wii U to humans.
Yeah.
Really?
Is that how Dexter's going to learn Strike? He's going to go straight from Mario Kart into a car.
Well, maybe, it's
full
a
license.
proven route, isn't it? Okay. So it's not. I thought they won't be playing Surgeon Simulator then.
No, they won't.
Okay.
That was just a funny little link.
All right, okay, that was funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a link. But there'll be a special game.
Yeah, so they've got this game, this adventure puzzle game, where you are doing various things, but it uses a lot of the same movements that you would use in surgery. And this developer has also developed some software which is used to train surgeons. So they know what they're doing.
Okay, I mean, even though you've just told me, I'm not certain that I know what they're doing. It sounds a bit odd to me.
Well, they're just giving people a chance who are maybe training to be surgeons, maybe just have a passing interest. I wonder what it would be like to be a surgeon. Well, you can give it a go and you don't have to commit any crimes.
You see, they say training. I think brainwashing. It's brainwashing. Who knows what surgeons are going to be doing in the future? We're watching you, Nintendo.
Thanks, Anne.
One Life Left video game news with Anne Scantlebury.
This is Broken Patterns by Feral. It's from chipmusic.org, which is a brilliant chiptune repository on the internet. You should go there and listen to all of the artists. We're going to have some more chip music later in the show.
It's very nice, Steve.
Yeah, well, it's a nice, gentle beginning to this new run of One Life Left, although we just found out that we're not on next week.
No,
not on.
It's Bank Holiday Monday.
Which is... No, that's not the Egg Day. The Egg Day's Sunday,
Egg Day's
isn't
Sunday.
it? It's the recovering from Egg Day.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Oh, well, good. We'll be back in 2 weeks, though, won't we?
Exactly.
And then we'll be
We'll be
clear
off for a
run
bit.
until Christmas,
Exactly.
we assume.
No gaps. No, good way to ease our way in, I think. Like, you know, so that people are coming from a point low down there, they're chilled out, because what they're going to listen to now is going to make their blood boil.
I assume so. I assume we're going to blow the industry wide open. Is that the plan?
That is the plan, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm quite experienced with using explosives in COD, so you know I'm going to be using some
Explosives, but
metaphorical.
no expletives.
Is
please.
it all about ethics in video game journalism?
It's all about ethics in video game journalism.
How many ethics should there be?
Well, objectively speaking, there should be 7 out of 10 ethics at all times.
Right.
That's what we've tried to stick to, and presumably that's why we're not front of your hit list.
Well, I would like to check how much chiptune.org are paying you.
It's chipmusic.org.
Exactly, although we are open to offer.
Chiptune.org have paid me £20 to mention them live on air.
We've never made a secret of the fact that we're happy to sell out.
No,
Exactly,
totally
£250
We've
is
been
what we
quite-
charge Crytek for their CryEngine song.
We've been quite open about it, and surely that's a type of ethics.
Well, it's the open door policy that allows me to appear on air as well, so without having to disguise my voice. So.
When did it become about ethics for you? What prompted prompted this campaign that you're waging?
I went into a branch of my local video game store.
Which one?
The name will remain nameless, but there's only one nowadays.
Okay.
And there was a girl in there.
Right.
And I just thought, we've got to do something about ethics.
I see. And so did you take action then, or did you?
Well, I didn't talk to her, obviously. So, but I went home, typed something up furiously,
right,
and actually thought, this needs to be out there for the people. We need to scare the girls out of the shops. And that's what I did. Yeah, a lot of them are online now, of course. So.
I do actually have to leave the room when we play your feature. It has terrified me so much.
Well, I mean, I'm a non-threatening person, I should say, but I'm working on that. I've been down the gym a little bit.
What's the worst case of ethics breaking that you've seen recently?
The other day, I was playing on COD, and someone quit while I was winning.
Right.
That is outrageous. Do you have any idea who it was?
No.
No.
Everyone uses pseudonyms nowadays, of course, So.
Right, yeah.
Difficult to tell. So you're all in favour of the... I think PlayStation just started introducing verified accounts.
Oh, yeah. But if you ask my real name, you're not going to get it.
So alongside you, I mean, do you check out the various forums and stuff where they're talking about this stuff all the time? Are you on Kotaku in action?
I'm a lurker.
Okay.
Because I don't like to, to leave a record of what I believe. A lot of that comes through the show, rather than being out there online, so people can't Google me,
Do you agree with much of what their heroes say? I mean, there's been a lot of chat about Total Biscuit, for example. Is he a hero of yours?
Well, I think he's a bit mainstream, frankly. We need to go deeper into YouTube. I like the YouTube accounts that have single-figure subscribers.
Okay.
Those are the ones that have got really important things to be saying. So, yeah.
What's your ultimate goal then for sort of blowing this wide open? Because we've known for ages that a lot of this stuff is secret. Obviously we'll meet up and chat about it, and we meet with those that want to feature on the show, and we have casting couch auditions in the internet sense. So yeah, what is your ultimate goal?
I'd just like to see the death of sort of fun and nuance in gaming. I mean, what we were talking about earlier on with the elite players who kind of treat it like a job. That's what games are. They should be like a job.
Okay.
And that way I wouldn't be bugged by my mum constantly for not having a job. So,
have you had much reaction to your campaign?
Well, no, because no one knows it's me.
Okay.
And that's the important thing, really, is that I remain anonymous. So if people knew who I was, I imagine I'd get a reaction.
Okay.
I overhear people in game shops talking about, scores and things, and I'm assuming they're talking about me, but there's no way of knowing.
How do you feel about the sort of expanding definition of game these days?
Don't like it.
Really?
Don't like it at all.
Why is that?
Well, because games have fighting in them.
Okay.
Fighting and extreme sports.
Right, okay.
Those are the two games.
Okay.
Anything other than that is, watercolour painting, basically.
What happened then? I mean, because we used to be quite an insular, segregated pastime. No one really knew about it. What was it? PlayStation and their nightclubs and drugs and all of that sort of stuff?
Well, yeah, that whole 90s thing of, trying to expand out a bit didn't really help. I think the invention of the console wasn't really a good thing.
Okay.
If we could just stick to boxes in attics, that would be fine.
Are there any particular games you blame for this mess?
I don't want to blame it all on Pokemon, but, a lot of people I was at school with got into that. And I just feel like it's a bit of a gateway game for them. It's stupid as well. Everyone's nice in that game and no one dies.
Right. Wow. Do you still enjoy games?
Well, I don't really get a chance to play them now. I spend a lot of time, on forums, lurking, not typing, or recording, recording things on my wiretap. So,
Are you a mobile gamer, cell phone gamer at all?
I only have an old Nokia because I don't want to be traced.
Yeah, of course. No WAP games on that then?
No.
Okay.
Who's the worst? I mean, the media landscape's changed so significantly over the last 5-10 years. Print magazines that used to be in the pockets of publishers no longer exists. And yet we've got a lot of online sites now that are too scared to give scores. So what's changed in terms of the media?
I just, like you say, I think they're too scared. They need someone who's a hero, who's going to lead them, and be objective and remove all adjectives from reviews. I'd be quite happy if we just had a kind of, what was effectively a phone directory with the name of the game and then a number next to it. That would work fine with me.
You say game criticism needs a hero, or perhaps heroes. Do you think that we might be positioned well to fill that role?
See this as an audition, I suppose.
Okay.
I'm here in my capacity as a gatekeeper to my side of the fence, really.
Okay. I mean, we will do what it takes.
Yeah.
So just let us know.
What can you offer us if we do indeed, conform to your expectations?
Well, word offer is a bit much, actually, because that sounds a little bit like collusion. But
right.
You watch this space.
What do you think of Kieron Gillen? Is this his fault?
Well, he's very wordy, isn't he? And the weird thing is, now he's in comics, he's using pictures, which are even worse than words. So if he again produced a book that was nothing but numbers, I'd be happy.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we do know that he listens, so fingers crossed. You're going to be sticking around for the rest of the show, aren't you?
Well, I'll be in the corner over here in the shadows. I may be here, I may not be here.
Thanks for coming in.
Hello, I'm Sega Badawi, and welcome to One Life Left Local News. A furore has taken place over the name of a horse that is currently being trained to join the Raccoon City Police Force. Apparently, the mounted forces in the police felt that the horse's current name, Tails, was too wimpy and plain, and it would not garner them respect from the local community. People found out about the proposed name change and decided to mount a protest against it. Also, the police found out that their preferred name, Your Mum _sucks with 2 X's 69, was already taken, so they are a bit stuck. It is believed that the police are now deciding upon their next move and might decide to pick one of the top horse names that are currently in the Gallup charts. Thanks, and back to your usual programming.
This is One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM. We are a video game radio show. We're also a podcast. Maybe you're listening to that. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. You can download the podcast at
onelifeleft.com.
We'll have the letters section in a minute. You can email us.
team@onelifeleft.com.
Too late for this week, though. We've got some competition prizes.
Do we? What is it?
Yeah, we do, don't we? Are you? You mentioned this to me, didn't you?
Yeah,
and then I forgot.
Some codes. We've got some codes for a video game called Parcel on Steam, which was out yesterday. It's a puzzle game, which is brilliant.
How many codes have we got?
It's a good question. I think we've got a couple.
All right.
Maybe we shouldn't give them all out this week, just in case we don't get any codes for next week.
Right. I can run through your the email subjects for you to see if they're in those emails. There's via LinkedIn was one email we've been corresponding on.
Oh, really?
Develop tickets. We should deal with that.
Interesting. Yeah, we should talk about that.
Then, in inverted commas, you email me saying, "I'm assuming you don't want this date." Oh, here we go. Forward parcel, etc.
There we go. How many codes are in there?
You say to me, not super interesting for you, but I'm sending to remind you we have some codes to give away on the next show.
There we go.
And then there's another bit you said in brackets, which, 2 we've got, Steve.
2
codes.
2.
Okay, so
let's see if this one...
2 of these 4 letters will make the cut. Well, we haven't played the letters theme yet, so we can't...
Oh, for goodness sake, yeah, sorry.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Okay, hold on. Ready...
Email, messages and forward BCC. One Life letters.
There we go.
Dear Steve, because I went for Anne last time, sorry Simon, maybe next letter. I have not switched my Xbox on since 2 days before Christmas. I think I've had a couple of games of Bejeweled Blitz on my iPhone, but apart from that, I've been virtually game-free so far this year. Am I still allowed to listen? Thanks in advance. Brian.
Why, Brian?
Yeah, why, Brian?
Is Kinect not working?
Just shout
Xbox on! Xbox on!
But, I mean, to deal with your question, you're absolutely allowed to listen if you don't play video games at all. In fact, it's almost...
It's helpful.
It's almost helpful, isn't it? Thank you for writing. Okay, hello team, writes Ben Hall. Possibly, plus a super special guest. You'll be pleased to know we do have a super special guest.
Hello.
It fills my heart with joy to hear my favourite gang coming through my speakers once again. It seems so long since they were back together that my heart will no doubt be soaring and there will probably be tears in my eyes. How are Team One Life Left enjoying the return of Daphne and Celeste?
Hey!
Set up.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Set up, payoff.
Yep.
Textbook. In other news, I found a new iOS app called Parkopedia. But it failed to mention that he works for the New Yorker, his dodgy Pong tattoo, or the time he lost his shoes. Instead, all it did was tell me places where I could park my car. Unlike the time I met Parko, this is Simon Parkin he's talking about, at Marioke, where he told me where I could stick it. Cheerio, Ben. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. It's nice to hear from you.
Good that Parko's branching out, though, isn't it? It's good that
really good.
Do you think he just realised that nickname was stuck so hard, he better make an app of it?
We made that happen.
I feel like changing it now, though. I was thinking that we should start changing it to Parkinson. I don't know.
That's really good.
No, I know.
Should we do it? Because that would be a demonstration of power, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If we could do that.
Yeah.
Parkinson.
Okay.
There we go. Starts here.
Gameunder.
What ho, Simon, Steve and Anne, and your super special guest. Oh yeah, this is from Robert Wells, by the way. While you've been away, the National Video Game Arcade has opened in Nottingham. I, for one, can't wait to visit. But at the moment, the only footage I've seen from the inside is of small children being confused by 80s games, although I don't think anyone has ever understood Jet Set Willy. Take a guess. What games from the current generation will be thought of as historically worth preserving in 30 years? What will be utterly bewildering? What will be forgotten? Welcome back, Robert.
In a similar vein, Kate Dixon, who I should disclose, Gameunder, she is my wife.
What?
Yeah,
Is she even allowed to win
written
this
into the show.
prize?
Well, yeah, why not? Well, we'll let Gameunder decide. She can use my Steam account. She says, hello, I went to Nottingham to visit National Video Game Arcade this weekend. It was fantastic. I got to take out Space Invaders with table tennis. The husband managed to impress strangers with his skills on track and field. That's true, I did. And the stepson got to spend almost an hour of accumulated time driving virtual cars around real-life bric-a-brac. He also played virtual tennis with a grown man that neither me nor my husband knew. This is true. It was really just an ace family day out. Got me thinking about games in public spaces and the gravitas of 40 to 20 objects or art placed in a gallery, museum or national arcade. What do the OLL team think makes a game worthy or interesting enough to be exhibited in such a space? And what would we like to see in the National Arcade and why? We should talk about the National Video Game Arcade then, shall we? Which opened.
So we should fade down the letters theme. If you do want to write to One Life Left and potentially win a code for a game such as Parcel, email
team@onelifeleft.com.
It was fantastic, wasn't it? Yes. So the National Video Game Arcade is the permanent home of what was formerly known and will again be known in October, I guess, as Game City, Nottingham Game City. It's a 5-storey building in Nottingham's Creative Quarter. And here's the power of it. I went to pick Dexter up from his house on Saturday morning and asked whether he had his headphones handy so he could watch a movie in the back of the car on a tablet, because that's what kids do now. You don't play pub cricket these days, Anne. He watches films. And he said, why? And I said, because we're going on a journey. And he went, oh, where are we going? And I said, we're going to the National Video Game Arcade. Now, he'd never heard those words held to get used in succession before, but his face lit up and he went, wow. So we went there, and it's open permanently. I think it's like £8.50 for adults, £6.50 for kids and stuff. And it's really, really, really good fun. It's got a mix of historic video games. So I play track and field on an arcade machine, which I've not done for a long, long time. Still terrible at the hurdles. Pac-Man is there. At the top of the stage you go in, they've got Virtua Tennis, which is what Dexter was playing, and he broke it. I'd never seen anybody do this before. But he started playing Virtua Tennis, and I hadn't realised how much that helps you along. Right, so you could. It's quite forgiving. So you could just sort of push a button and you hit it back, and then he got this. And then after a while, after we'd had some lunch, he went back to him. He said, "Daddy, watch this." And he stood with his back to Virtua Tennis and just said, "I can play it with my back." And he was listening to the sounds and just pushing the button and then hitting it. And I'm like, amazing. And then we caught him later on playing like literally with a grown man, and we didn't know who that was. And it's got a lot of experimental stuff at the moment. So there was a variation on Happy Sabotage, I think it was, a game that we saw at Radius, the one where you push it on a massive surface. They've got that on a wall. That's really good fun.
That was at Game City.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. No, you are right. So there's this is on a wall.
It was in a room by itself, and there was panels.
So this is on one wall at the moment, sort of variation on it. It's got loads of experimental things, like you can play with video game characters, so you can affect their jump trajectory. It's got a whole floor dedicated to jumping in video games. It's got a cannonbolt that you actually jump to play. I really liked Donkey Kong Time Machine, which was it's a revolving display of how Donkey Kong's been represented on loads of different formats. Really interesting to see them side by side. Loads of stuff you can play with. A game where you play thrust using electrodes in bananas and oranges and stuff. You make music. There's the history of video games in 100 objects. It really, really brilliant place. For everybody was having a great time. I think, Pong Invaders, I think it was, where you actually play physical table tennis at a screen with Space Invaders coming on, and if it hits them, then they die. The game that Dexter loved was a projector in the ceiling, where you race cars around it. So you race cars that are projected onto a white area, but you place real life objects and the cars won't go round. The cars crash into them, you can trap them. He loved all that. Yeah, a Minecraft projection thing, you can stick your head in and it surrounds you with Minecraft. Yeah, brilliant. I'd thoroughly recommend.
So we should try answering Robert's question, which is, what would we add to that from gaming right now? What do we think what games do we think would fit well? Because you know what my answer is going to be. I should say right now, I have broken my Spelunky addiction, which is great news for everyone, not least the listeners of this radio show who are absolutely sick of it. But GDC stopped me playing the daily challenge because I literally didn't have time, and since then I haven't gone back to it. It's great. But I do think it is the strongest piece of design from the last 10 years. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Distills so many clever things into a single game, and I think it will still be brilliant fun in 30 years' time.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, the second floor, which is currently dedicated to jump, I'd love to see them tackle roguelikes. In particular, I think that would be absolutely fascinating. I know it's difficult to say, isn't it? What games we're playing now would end up in a...
I don't know.
There's lots of...
I just wonder if there's any of the iOS games, because that's what I play most frequently, and I just wonder if any of them have any staying power.
We haven't seen that future I dreamed of defined by Hatterful Boyfriend, have we? Which, maybe in 30 years' time they'll have a pigeon room. I don't know. Gameunder, what do you think?
I just think this whole question's a bit worrying, because it's almost like you're saying that games are art, and that is just a very difficult road to go down.
I mean,
let's keep them separate, yeah?
It's a museum. There are science museums.
Well, yeah, but... Yeah. I think it sounds more like a gallery. A lot of what you were describing didn't sound like real games.
Well, maybe you and I should. Maybe we should all go and see if it changes your mind, because I think you could. There are a lot of people saying that how it's just given them so much enthusiasm for video gaming again, just to see people experimenting, people having fun, but placing it in a certain context. But yeah, it was brilliant. Loved it. Let's recommend you go.
Who's won?
We should ask Gameunder who's won the serial code. I mean, just bear in mind I don't have this game.
Now you're actually giving me a chance to do some collusion.
I mean, I'm just
We can edit this bit out of the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And we can make you sound as good as you like.
Well, seeing as we've got two letters on the same subject, which indicates some sort of conspiracy, I feel like we should give it to one of the Nottingham letters.
Okay.
So maybe Robert Wells in that case.
Excellent. Congratulations, Robert. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, but if you've got anything to say, please do email us.
team@onelifeleft.com.
You're needed in surgery immediately.
Avatar, you're the only one that can do this. You're gonna have to operate.
Dr. Avatar, operating room dictation on patient daddy, big. Operative diagnosis, endocrinologically active pituitary tumor. Estimated blood loss 400 cc's, OR time 8 hours. Mr. Daddy presented to the emergency department with a sensation of diving bell suit constriction and extreme pain necessitating removal in the operating room in conjunction with a local fire department. Under continuous heart monitoring, the patient was extracted using a hydraulic jaws of life apparatus. Upon liberation, he was noted to have generalized skull expansion and soft tissue growth at all extremities consistent with acromegaly well into adulthood. Having been rendered MRI compatible, Mr. Daddy underwent dedicated imaging of the sella turcica, which revealed a large pituitary adenoma. Taking advantage of the OR booking, I called Dr. Steinman of otolaryngology to assist me in endoscopic transsphenoidal removal of the tumor. The patient was transferred to the surgical step-down unit where he will be monitored for visual field changes and counseling regarding a career change. Ending dictation for patient daddy, big.
Good to have Dr. Avatar back as well.
Certainly was.
I wonder if he trained using...
You can ask him.
Yeah.
So we've got some news. I mean, one of the things that has happened to us since we've last been on air is we've done Marioke. We've done it twice, haven't we? Did once at last Thursday.
Did you?
And before that, we had our debut.
We went to America.
Yeah, we went to San Francisco. And it was intense, wasn't it?
Have we spoken about this since? I can't remember whether we have done.
We haven't spoken about it on air.
Right.
No.
How'd it go?
It went pretty well, actually. It's the man. What was his name? Who he hired it from?
I feel like Chris. I think he's called Chris.
He was phenomenal.
He was uncertain at the start,
Most people usually are.
but by the end of it, he was abusing his power as owner of the karaoke bar by going, "Oh yeah, just put me on." And then to see him singing June 2 to New York, it's like to a room full of people he didn't know. It was good fun, wasn't it?
It was absolutely phenomenal. It was an amazing evening, and that's filled us with a confidence that doubtless will knock us down
Exactly.
at one point.
Let's find out, shall we?
So let's try and keep it going for as long as possible. We're going to do another gig away from Thursday.
Are we?
Outside of our home environment of the loading bar. We're going to try and push to a new city. Is it a city?
Yes.
It is a city.
It is a city.
We're going to be doing the karaoke at Develop.
Yes!
On the Tuesday night of Develop. Do we know what day that is?
Let's look it up.
We should have looked that up before
Should have
this.
done, really, yeah.
Should have checked.
We have almost booked the venue, we think. Although should we? They weren't certain that they'd have us to start off with.
Siri, when is Develop in Brighton? Oh, no.
Checking. Okay, I found this on the web for Developing Brighton.
No, we're going to have to just type
Simon?
it in.
Okay, Google. When is the Develop conference in Brighton? photos from Develop in Brighton. We don't know. Neither.
Siri, when is the Develop conference in Brighton?
Okay.
It's in July. It's in July.
So
Book your train ticket now.
One Tuesday in July, we're going to be doing the Marioke. Tickets are going to go on sale this week.
Okay, I found this on the web for Develop conference in Brighton.
Okay, it's
14th of July.
2015.
Is that the Tuesday, 14th of July?
Let me just check. Hang on. Yes, 14th. There we go. It's my email to It's my email to the venue. 14th of July in Brighton, of course.
So we're going to put tickets on sale this week. We think there'll be a £5, and it's going to be the best night of your life, guaranteed. Yeah. That isn't an actual guarantee. I mean, but it might be. So it's probably worth. I mean, you gamble £5 on it being the best night of your life. You might as well.
Gameunder, just so you know, whilst we were running the karaoke in San Francisco, I was in the booth, and two people approached me. Well, actually, many people approached me to hand me their slips, but two people in particular approached me in order to ask me or encourage me to move their song selection closer to the top of the queue. One man offered me money, and he started with $10, and he went up to $60.
He was a marketing manager at a hotel as well.
Was he?
So you know he's got it. Yeah, okay. I've got his business card.
Do you?
Yes.
Excellent. Do you really?
I genuinely do,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm not interested in that, but I might be interested in the next person who approached me, who she opened the door into the karaoke booth, put her hand on my shoulders where she started off and said, how big's the queue? And I went, well, you can see how big it is that. And she said, yeah, I don't think you realise what I'm asking. I said, what? She said, and then she sort of knelt down and she said, no, but how long will I have to wait? And I was like, you have to wait. If you put your slip in now, then you could wait this long. She's like, no, I don't think you understand. And then she started rubbing my leg. And, so with both of them, I turned them down, Gameunder.
That's good to hear. But you have to wonder, why were they keen to leave or something like that? Was that it? Or?
I don't know. I'm just wondering if there was a price for having your song bumped up the queue, which we've established is owning the place that we're hiring.
Yeah.
Initially, we're keeping him on site because we want to go back next year. But if there was a price for Normos, Gameunder, what should we accept?
I think it would have to be, it has to be triple figures.
Or would it be both those things at the same time? Would it?
Potentially.
Okay.
So
I'm spending too much time around you. It's corrupting me now.
Well, I think maybe we need to put you back on track, don't we, right now? Because it would be wrong of us to have you visit us all the way from your secret base in a part of the country we can't even talk about either, because that might be a clue. And not have you do one of your astounding features that blow the lid off the games industry. So you have prepared something, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Are you ready to do that now?
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
This is Gameunder hijacking the airwaves and taking control of the games press from the corrupt presenters of One Life Left. Little do they know I've been wearing a wire and this whole show has been recorded. They've done a good job of hiding it, but I've tied them up in the corner of the studio. I'm in charge now, sheeple, and I've finally got a platform from a previously unrecognised voice, not including the weekly feature that I already have on this show. I think it's time we made some demands. Demand 1, indie games are banned until they can learn to control their emotions. Demand 2, tax breaks for sequels to existing and mainstream franchises based on their Metacritic score. Demand 3, on that note, Half-Life 3 to be confirmed. Demand 4, all games reviews are to return to having objective numerical scores. The system is as follows. If a game is objectively good, it gets 10 out of 10. If a game is objectively bad, it gets 9 out of 10. Demand 6, the slightly aloof but pretty girl who I see in my local game shop is to come out for one drink with me so she can see how nice I am in real life. Demand 7, actually, do you know what? Now I'm here, I'd like to put out a plea to all the games publishers out there to send me some free games. I will give positive reviews for free stuff. I know this is something that I've always fought against, but now I'm in a position of power, it's just too much to resist. I know that the music is finished. I'd also quite like some Doritos if there are any out there. Just send them to the studio and I'll give them a positive review too. I'm kind of ashamed of myself, but you can't argue with the power of corruption. Until next time, if there is a next time, on Gameunder.
Wow.
Whoa!
I've never done it in one take.
Have you not? That was good.
Seems appropriate to segue from that into the reviews section, doesn't it?
Just thinking.
This is going to be our most honest review section ever, isn't it? All right, what have you been playing, Simon?
I've been playing a Flame Over, which is a rogue-like, is how it was described on this very show. We had Alistair on, who was from Flame Jackal ages ago. Yeah, and I have to say, I can say this now, having played it for slightly longer than when I first formed my opinion. It's really good. I didn't like it to start off with, though, and I was a bit worried.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's so
dangerous.
You control a fireman, and it's roguelike, so the levels are procedurally generated. You get one go to stop the fire spreading across a load of random floors. It's properly hard to start off with, ridiculously difficult. You get two types of fires that you need to put out. It's very pretty. It's essentially a twin-stick shooter, but dressed up as a fireman simulator. Yeah, really, really, really tough and unforgiving. And the idea is that, like many roguelikes, you progress between runs by upgrading your equipment and making things slightly easier for you along the way. But it's super stingy with how you're able to upgrade initially. So you start off at your basic power and remain there for a long time, and yeah, it's pretty difficult, but once you get into it and you are able to access the upgrades, things become a lot better. And yeah, it's really, really, really good fun. It looks beautiful, plays very well. It doesn't fall into the trap of something like Rogue Legacy, which is just punishing, has upgrades that don't seem to make a lot of sense. You end up just spending money for the sake of it. I mean, this really makes you value them. So, yeah, structurally much better. Yeah, really enjoying it. 7 out of 10.
Seems fair. Anne?
I have been playing and actually just completed another level. Yes. Breath of Light, which is a lovely little puzzle game where there are flowers, right? And there's one flower which is coloured in and it has light coming out of it, and then there are other flowers which aren't coloured in, and you have to get the light from that one flower to the other flowers using things like little like sort of stone looking things that will like deflect them at different angles, or you've got spheres which have gravity and you can sort of like spin the light around them and get them to go in a different direction, or triangle things, prisms, which will split the light from the flower. Yeah, and it's just really nice. It's really pretty. The sound on it was lovely. And it's just very therapeutic and quite calming, I think.
This sounds like one of the games that Gameunder is worried about.
Yeah, it does.
Definitely, it doesn't sound like a game to me.
If you use the word therapeutic, I assume that sets you off.
Should be harrowing. Game should be harrowing.
It's really lovely. It had flowers in it. I was making other flowers come to life by sending light in the right direction using geometry.
Sounds like the sort of thing Cara Ellison would like.
Well, it's lovely, and yeah, I would give it 7 out of 10.
Fantastic. Me or Gameunder?
You, Steve.
I bought an iPad.
Whoa!
I know, and it's
part of the problem or part of the solution?
I don't know. Is that problem or solution, Gameunder?
I'd say problem.
Yeah. It's unlocked a world of iOS gaming that previously I've had very, very little chance to observe. I've had an opportunity now, because obviously that's where Anne hangs out a lot of the time. Yeah. Had a chance to verify some of her review scores, go back and play them. What was the game that I...
Legioli.
Is that how you say it? I don't know. You look it up.
Yeah.
A weird, aggressive space dating game, which I loved. Played a lot of Ruzzle Adventure, which is a word search game, which taught me the evils of free-to-play. It's one of those nasty ones that uses energy mechanics and slowly ramps up the difficulty. Very, very disappointing there. But... the game that I want to talk about, have you found out what the name of the game is? Ledolial, absolutely fantastic. The game that I want to talk about is Lamp and Vamp. Have you heard of that?
No, is that a dating application?
Lamp and Vamp. It is a hoplite.
Okay.
Which is a genre I had never heard of until Matt Bock introduced me to it. It's basically games like Hoplite. Lamp and Vamp, you are a vampire. You have to avoid the light and get to the exit. You move around turn by turn on a hexagon grid. You can destroy enemies if you want, or you can avoid them, and you have to eventually get to the vampire's castle. It is super, super cute. It is really, really hard, and it is a brilliant investment of time and money. I'd give it 7 out of 10. Gameunder.
I really wanted to like Bloodborne, but it gives you the option of playing as a female character. So 7 out of 10.
Fair enough. Okay, we should have, I guess, one more piece of music, and then we will close out the show. What should we have? What do you want? Do you want upbeat, or do you want downbeat?
Let's get pumping.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure?
Woo woo. Monday.
Okay, all right. Should we have a bit of Mega Drive pop?
Yeah, let's go out with a bang.
This is Static Dash Zone by One Life Left favourite Dread. Earlier in the show you heard Pulse City by Bitwise. I don't think I mentioned that. Again, it's all from chipmusic.org, One Life Left's favourite chip music supplier. Was that okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's fine as long as you cite all of these things.
Yeah. It sounded like, like it could be listened to on really cheap headphones.
So we're at the end of the show. This is the point where our intern would usually catch us up on any other business. We don't have an intern at the moment.
If you want to be an intern, though, get in touch.
Please do.
Team at onelifeleft.com.
Are interns okay? Are we allowed to have interns?
Are they paid?
No, absolutely not.
That's fine.
That's fine. Okay, good. Just checking.
Can you, if we don't have any other business, can you catch me up on what else went down at GDC?
GDC was excellent fun. You were very busy, weren't you, Simon?
I was very busy. Back-to-back meetings.
Back-to-back meetings. We did the radio show. That was great. Hung out with Gamasutra's Chris Graft a lot. He sends his love.
He's a fine-looking man, isn't he, Chris Graft? Isn't he? He really, I forget. I mean, that's what GDC serves to me, is an annual reminder of how attractive Chris Graft is.
Really, really unfortunate for us, isn't it? Because we do radio for a reason in the first place. But when we're doing radio sat along a man like that,
just so handsome.
So yeah, what else? We met lots of nice people out there. Did we make any new friends? I don't know whether we did really.
Was it just re-establishing old friendships?
Well, I mean, to a point, it's damage limitation, isn't it? Every time you see someone, there's the risk that they will... Yeah.
Find out the truth.
I don't think we really broke friends with anyone.
Good work, guys.
No, we actually didn't, did we?
I don't think so.
We were too busy, Anne. We need you there for that.
We really do. We really do.
On our future adventures, I'll be sure to turn up, either make some trouble or make some new friends.
I think we cemented the Marioke in people's hearts, didn't we? I saw some dude from Kotaku losing it at the front of the Marioke.
Yeah, Nathan Grayson really enjoyed it, didn't he? It's interesting he didn't mention it in his GDC write-up, though.
He loved it.
Even though he really did love it.
He was up there all the time.
He sang Uprising, which is about Peter Molyneux, and he was... because we are fine to talk about it now, Anne. Apparently, everyone, since John Walker's been more nasty to Molyneux than I have,
and he was on the show.
Exactly, being very lovely. Actually,
he was lovely. He's always lovely. He said he'd come down to London. He said, "Just invite me."
John Walker, you're invited. Yeah, so Nathan Grayson. Oh yeah, no, I'll sing that because I wrote the story. Like, great, you had a great time. He sang 3 or 4 songs, and then
he wrote to me the next day.
Did he?
He asked if he could get all of the karaoke files.
Did he?
So he could run it in San Francisco.
Is that what is it now?
That
interesting,
happens.
Right? Well, it's funny how he forgot about it when he wrote about his GDC write-up. Then, isn't it?
We don't hold grudges. It's fine. It's fine. We love Kotaku.
Do love Kotaku.
Kotaku.
Yeah, it's a good time, Anne.
Oh, that's good. Well, let's make sure we have plenty of other good times this year, all around the globe.
We're going to have one more. One more good time.
One more. Have you enjoyed your appearance on One Life Left, Gameunder?
I have. If I can break out of the character that I've barely held together for the past hour, it's been lovely. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on.
No, it is.
so
Really lovely to be
Welcome
here.
anytime. Keep up the good work, won't you? How can we follow your work?
I'm Mr. JJ Lean on Twitter for all your educational policy and storytelling needs.
Right, and that's a front, I take it. For
Well,
your...
that's the
Obviously.
face I put on my public life.
Yeah.
You know,
It's clever. No one
Very
would
clever.
suspect
Sounds legit.
a thing, will they? Okay, well...
Nice to see you guys again.
It's lovely to see you too,
I
Simon.
don't want to do it next week, though.
No.
Well, let's
Let's ease ourselves
back in. But we will be back the week after next. Until then, we've been One Life Left. See you!
See you.
Bye-bye.